Hi everyone, I decided to make this video today because recently I bought a card from Mercari Japan using Bai as the proxy service to purchase it. And when I received it, I found out it was a fake card, and when I contacted Bai, they told me that because they don't have the expertise, they can't do anything about it. Well, I'm a bit sore because it was like literally a $200 card. But I guess it's my fault where I didn't really check out the seller properly before buying. So I thought, okay, you know what? I got some fake cards. Let's compare them with the original and let's see what are some of the telltale signs that we can look out for. So first of all, this is the Asuna from Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. This is the authentic version that I have in my binder. If you remember me doing a binder showcase. And the first thing you notice about this fake card is look at the color of the signature. Even if this set had a reprint, the signature didn't change in color. So from the get-go, if you notice that the color of the signature is off, this is a fake card. But as you can see, it does have texture on the foiling and everything. So that you do really have to scrutinize. So first thing to look out for, color of the signature. This is a very straightforward one. Another thing to look out for, similarly, this is my SSP of Kirito and Asuna from the same set. This is the fake version. I mean, if you put them side by side, doesn't look that bad. But then if you notice the size of the card, if I were to line them up, you notice that the fake card is noticeably smaller. I believe this is, for Weiss Schwarz, this is standard size, 65 by 90 mm. This size looks more like probably Yu-Gi-Oh kind of size, where it is smaller. So some of the fake cards, they don't really consider about because they assume it's a Japanese TCG, right? Then they follow the Yu-Gi-Oh kind of dimension. So this is your second red flag if the card size is going to be smaller than your standard card. So these are the two things. Similarly, if you look closely, the signature does look pretty good, and there is texture foiling as well. So yeah, it might not stand out. Also, another thing, if you notice, since we are on this card, is if you notice the cost of the card, the level and the cost of the card, you'll notice that it is not right. So this might be a standard template that they use for their fake cards, and you will notice that the level, if it doesn't correspond to the original, check out, like Yuyute, how the power rating, how the level should be. If it is off, then you know that this is clearly a fake. Okay, moving along, we do have other cards. I do have Amelia as well. Amelia from ReZero. This is a very lovely card that I have. This is the fake card. If we put them side by side, you can notice things that are off. So if we look at the closely, you'll notice that the serial number, this clearly is a fake serial. This is how the serial should be. This is the fake one. But since this card is a level 0, so the previous point where I say about the level might not be that applicable. Similarly, if you look at the card itself, the signature, everything does look pretty much on point, so that wouldn't be a good indication. Okay, third is, let's look at our Azalin. So this is my original, this is the fake. So of course, if we look, the level seems to be correct, the signature is there. But if we look at the power rating, you notice that, hey, the font does look a bit weird. And you notice that the names and the power rating should be in foil, but it is not in foil on the fake card. But apart from that, you look at the serial number, it is pretty much correct. But for this particular card, there is another dead giveaway. So some sellers, they might not show you the back of the card, and that is a red flag. Because if we look at the back, wait a minute, since when does Weiss Schwarz have such a card back? So similarly, you can see that if a seller doesn't want to post the card back and just the front of the card, that might be a red flag, because it does look pretty good actually, to be honest. compared to the original. You can see the texture foiling, the signature, the sheen, everything. It does look pretty much there. And also apart from that, let me see. Okay, so this is from our key, 20th anniversary, right? If we were to compare and see, this one does have the original Weiss Schwarz back, but the color, if you can see, it is not quite the same. So if we were to compare it, like you see, all my original Weiss Schwarz cards, the color does seems to match. But if we were to look at our fake cards, okay, this is the one that I have with the back, you will see that the color doesn't quite compare. Okay, maybe I should take it out of my double sleeve. Okay, maybe I use the same card. You can see somehow this fake card, the color seems to be a bit more green. So this is also another way to tell if the color tone seems off of the card, because so far from what I can see, all my original cards do have the same color tone. So you can compare with other cards you have at home, and if the color does seem off, so far these are all from different sets, but the color does seem pretty consistent, and have to give it to Bushiroad that their quality checks is definitely a lot better than Magic the Gathering, because I do have a lot of differing print quality from different sets in Magic the Gathering. Excuse me, I'm still sick. But as you can see, so the fake cards are getting better, and I only decided to make this video because I have bought a card that was fake. All the seller did was to upload a copy of the front of the card. So just a copy of the front of the card. The serial number, like similarly like this Akagi, the serial number, everything does match, the level, everything match, but I didn't get to see the back of the card. So if a seller doesn't really post any photos like that, I would probably avoid the seller, especially if you're like me that buy a lot of cards from Mercari. Now if I buy cards from Mercari, what I will do is I will look for sellers that normally post like 8 photos. Normally what seller will do is they do a close-up of all the 4 front corners and a close-up of the 4 back corners. That way, at least from the photos, I can more or less get a guarantee that it is authentic. If a seller only posts the front of the card and it's not a very clear photo, that is a warning sign. You should avoid it, especially if you can't really see the serial number clearly. So I hope this video is at least somewhat useful. If you are like me that buy a lot of cards online, I don't want you to get scammed like I did. So apart from that, I must say that the fake card do look pretty good. This is from the new Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. This is the secret rare, the 2 secret rares, but as you can see, the serial numbers are off. But hey, apart from that, the signature does look good. The texture foiling is there, but if you notice that compared to the original, sometimes they don't really get the texture foiling right. Like you look at this Asuna, look at the texture compared to this texture. I think they just have some default texture that they switch around with in the factory when they are making the fakes. So that is also another thing to look out for, is the kind of foiling. But normally when you upload the card image, you can't really can tell from the foiling. So look out for the other 4 things that I pointed out earlier. I mean, I don't have any premium parallel from Licorice Recoil, but I got this also, and honestly, they do look pretty good. I'm not sure if the signature for the original Rebirth for You premium parallels are in rainbow foil. If you do have this card, let me know. But apart from that, it looks like a pretty good card. I mean, from the front, I can't really tell that anything is off. So this is very scary because fakes are getting better, and I can't recall if, you know, our quintessential quintuplets have SPs in this art style, but I thought they also look pretty good. Look at that. So it is really, really scary how good the fakes have come, and especially now we've seen things like, you know, the recent Disney 100 set where we have a $10,000 card, right? that is a good incentive for fakers to try to create, you know, fake copies of the card to sell, and I don't want any of you to fall scam to that. So do be careful when you're buying cards, and I hope you find this video somewhat helpful. So take care, stay safe, keep chasing those SP, and I will see you all next time.